Here we go. Another edition of the Orchid Kato show. Man, is it hot in our studio today. It's hot outside. Miserable day. But we push through. We keep going forward.
Yes.
We're going to push forward to the first topic of the day. The main event of Smackdown. Maybe you could talk about Smackdown as a general, as an entire show. What did you think of Smackdown last night?
I thought it was really good. I enjoyed the whole show.
Yeah, I agree. I can't
really think of any part that I didn't really care for last night. I thought the whole show was a really good show.
I think you had brought it up a few weeks ago, and I certainly agree that there's something special about R-Truth. Mm-hmm. I think that it was nice to see him in a main event. The guy loses all the time, and still the crowd is with him. Yeah. The crowd loves him. I think the Perfect 10, he is sort of the exact opposite of like he was over when he was sort of winning, but his steam has sort of died off. Whereas a guy like R-Truth continues, despite losing, to get over. And I think that there's a magic to that maybe even is more difficult than being somebody that wins all the time and gets over. So, I hope they do something nice with this and they do something good with R-Truth.
Yeah.
I think he looks great.
Yeah.
His mic skills are great.
Yeah.
He always gets over the crowd.
He's very funny.
Funny, yeah, he's fun. And I like the whole concept, I don't know if you caught it, of sort of being crazy like a fox to get in the main event. I thought, all right, this is...
I'm going to teach you how to get in the main event.
It was a perfect payoff to literally years of craziness, like that one line. So I loved it. I thought the stuff with Daniel Bryan coming out at the end was great. I think it's an interesting twist to sort of throw Carmella into all of this with R-Truth. So I thought SmackDown from beginning to end was brilliantly written.
Yeah.
So I have no complaints.
Do you think that I can't think of what the guy's name is. The Mexican guy with the little girl.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Do you think that he's going to be a part of... Yeah, almost. Is he going to be a part of this feud?
I don't think.
I mean,
he was sort of... He was tapping out there at the end.
Yeah.
As sort of just fodder for what had happened to him. He lost his match, and then, it was fodder for them tapping out. So I think that, I don't think they buried him away where they can't bring him around to something else, because there is something sort of unique and special about that duo.
Yeah.
But I just think in this particular situation...
Do you think it was just kind of like a filler, get them to have something?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
That way you're not seeing Miz and Daniel Bryan over and over again.
Right. Yeah, I think it was good. I think it was good, and I think you can do more now with the Truth, R-Truth and Miz, who, not for nothing. I mean, Miz is... there's only a handful of guys in history that I've done a complete 180 on.
Yeah.
I think Jericho's one of them. I was never with Jericho, but man, I was wrong. Mm-hmm. And Miz 10 years ago, I thought I will never be interested in this guy. I was wrong, man. He is the best heel on television a lot of weeks. Yeah. Special. I really like the Miz. I like SmackDown. I thought it was great. Let's go to the night before, Monday Night Raw. What do you think?
I don't think it was as good as SmackDown, but I still thought it was an alright show. It wasn't...
You thought it was alright?
Yeah.
I thought it was a train wreck.
Yeah?
I thought it was terrible. Maybe the worst Monday Night Raw I've seen in a long time. I mean, just the stuff with the Shield. Mm-hmm. It was Labor Day, and they got hauled away to jail, and yet was still able to get a judge to process them. Maybe I'm overthinking the situation.
Yeah.
That was insane.
And then they stole the van.
They stole the police van.
Or they just asked the police, can I borrow this? I gotta get back.
Right. I mean, that whole concept was just insane to me. I hate that they're trying to make Braun Strowman the heel in this. Mm-hmm. I mean, I just hate it. I don't feel like they needed to make the Shield the villains in this, but why couldn't both guys just be baby faces? Clearly the crowd wants to cheer for Braun Strowman. I feel like, and then, there it was, Braun Strowman more or less demolished Finn Balor. So it feels like, in a lot of ways, I get fans' frustration of, right now it feels like, well, if you're not going to cheer for the guy we tell you to cheer, we're going to turn the guy you want to cheer heel. Mm-hmm. Oh, you want to cheer for Finn Balor? We'll just bury Finn Balor. You're either going to cheer for who we want, or we're going to force this thing down your throat.
Right.
And that is, I mean, that's frustrating.
Yeah.
Raw was not a good show for me to beginning to end. I mean, there's elements that I like. Like, I think that the big guy that's with Braun now, what's his name? Not Dolph Ziggler. Drew McIntyre. Like, that dude is special. He's a perfect villain. Like, he's great. Like, there's elements of it that are really great. You know, I feel like the ending segment where all the heels came out and beat up the Shield, like, I don't know.
Well, I hope that they would tie that in next week. That, like, maybe the heels have, like, a union, and, like, they had a union meeting, and they were like, we're tired of the Shield taking all of our spots.
They took our job.
So let's go out and beat them up. Maybe there's a heel union or something like that.
I don't know. I can't react to what's happening next week. All I can react to is what I saw on Monday night. And I don't mind the heels looking strong. Mm-hmm. I think it's important. I think more often than not, the heels should look strong.
Yeah.
But in this particular situation, you have Braun Strowman, which the fans simply do not want to cheer for, but we're being jammed down our throat. You have Dean Ambrose, who the fans want to cheer for, but is playing second fiddle to Roman Reigns. You have Seth Rollins, who is arguably the single best babyface on television right now, playing second fiddle to Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And I don't hate Roman Reigns.
Right.
I've really come around to, I don't like what Roman Reigns represents. I don't like this. You are going to cheer who we want you to cheer for,
right,
or we're going to give you garbage.
Right.
And that's what I feel. That's what I felt Monday night. Like, you guys don't want to cheer for him? Guess what? Trash is on the way. And that's what they gave us. They gave us trash on Monday night.
Do you like not to change the subject, but still on Raw, did you like the Drew McIntyre and Dolph winning the tag belts?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I mean, B Team didn't do much for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably would have rather somebody else win the tag belts than those guys because they don't feel like a real team to me. They're just two guys that hang out.
Yeah.
Whereas, there's lots of other teams on Raw that feel like real teams. Yeah. Even the B Team feel like a team.
Yeah.
So I've always been real high on real teams being the tag team champion, not just two guys that are put together. So I don't know. I guess maybe, we're going to see Dean and Seth go for the tag team titles, which I would be okay with those guys winning the tag belts.
Seth Rollins has an Intercontinental Championship. Why? Like, I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's what we're going to see, though. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Just Raw as a whole.
Yeah.
He did very little for me. I thought it was some of the, we've seen weeks where Raw is brilliant, and this week it was trash.
What about Ronda Rousey, Arm Dragon, Alicia Fox?
Those are fun.
That did something for you.
I did like that. Yeah, I like Rousey. I like her intensity. I think there's some things that are going to, like when we see her a year from now, she's going to be cleaned up a bit, but her intensity is so good, and the faces she makes are so good. Like, I really like Ronda Rousey. You really believe that if she wanted to, she could just smack everybody around, including the guys on the show. Mm-hmm. That's why I like Ronda Rousey. So I did like that particular. I mean, there's always tidbits you can take away from wrestling, even on good show like Smackdown. If I really sat down, I'm sure there was parts I didn't really care for.
Right.
But the same way with Raw, there's certainly parts that I liked, but man, I'll tell you, you can take Raw and throw it in the lake for all I care at this point because it was trash this week. So, unrelated to Raw or SmackDown, they got the Mae Young Classic coming up. It starts technically tonight. Hopefully, we get this up quick enough before people watch that. Do you have any thoughts on that? Are you interested in the least in the Mae Young Classic?
I'll sit down and watch it. I like watching the tournaments. There's not a lot of storyline with the tournaments, and I don't like that part. Like, I like watching good wrestling, that's great, but I also like a little bit of a storyline, and like they really can't do that with.
Yeah, I like them because they're like they do a really good job of telling you who this character is before they come out. They just sent two people out through the curtain, and you had no idea who they were or what they had done. I would be like, this is dumb. But they always have those video packages saying, hey, she's wrestled here, and she's been wrestling for this many years, and you get a little bit of an interview with them. I love that aspect of introducing the world to new characters. And I think there's some really, interesting names that are in the Mae Young Classic. I'm looking forward to it. I love the tournament. Like the UK tournament last year's was probably the best tournament I ever seen, and then this year's was pretty good too. It wasn't quite the same level, but it was really good. I love tournaments. I think that part of what makes a tournament great is you don't always need a particular storyline, because the storyline is everybody's trying to win the tournament. So if you have a bunch of characters that people aren't super familiar with, that is the storyline. Like, this guy's trying to do whatever it takes to win this match so that he can advance. That is the storyline. So I'm looking forward to it. I really want to see it. The thing maybe I loved and hated at the same time, moving to our next topic, Shawn and Undertaker. What did you think? I'll tell you what I thought, but you tell me what you thought of the Shawn and Undertaker segment.
Both were great promos. I've heard online that maybe Shawn Michaels might be coming back, but I doubt that. That doesn't seem true at all. But I thought the segment was really good. I thought the whole... Like, I'm not a fan... I wasn't a fan of, like, the before Shawn Michaels came out, they did, like, those packages, and they did it last week, too, where, like, superstars were weighing in on, will Triple H win or will Undertaker win? And I didn't really care for that, but I liked the Shawn Michaels and the Undertaker aspect. And you kind of forgot that they were talking about Triple H, because it kind of felt like they were having their own thing.
Yeah, but you liked the segment, but do you feel like it built any excitement to see Undertaker versus Triple H?
No, I agree. I think it built excitement to see Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, but not...
Yeah, what favor did it do? It made for compelling television, but it didn't really...
Do anything
to advance the storyline that's at hand, Triple H versus Undertaker. I'm going to stand by what I said before. I'm not excited about this match in the least, because I don't want to see the guys that I loved growing up do it at a lesser level. And my gut reaction initially was, oh my God, I want to see Shawn and Undertaker. But now with the ability to have 2 days to look back on it, I don't want to see it. They had two of the greatest matches of all times 10 years ago. I don't think they can do it at the same level again. I could be dead wrong. Maybe they have something special that they could do. I don't want to see Shawn and Undertaker. I don't want to see Triple H and Undertaker. It's all well and good. Their legacy is cemented. They are great performers. They've made millions of dollars in the business. I'm not always this step aside, old man, let the young guy come up.
Yeah.
But I am of the mindset of step aside, old man, and let the guys that are at least in their mid-30s to late 30s have those spots. Because they've worked hard, man. They've worked, The Miz and Daniel Bryan worked hard for their spots every single show. Let them have their spot. Not that Shawn and Undertaker didn't earn their spots, or Triple H, but they did earn their spot 10 years ago. It's time to move forward at a certain point. Do what they did last week with King Booker. Bring those guys back for a quick spot where it's very exciting. Bring The Undertaker back for a quick spot where it's very exciting. Shawn, same way. Quick spot. We don't need to forget about those guys, but let's just remember the things that made them great, like the entrances and the the sweet chin music and the tombstone powder. Let's just do those quick things and get them out where they can still shine. I just can't imagine we're going to see a 15 or 20 minute match at this pay-per-view that's going to be good. I don't want to see it.
Neither do I.
So let's move forward. And moving forward with the show, we're going to end on this topic. AJ Styles and Samoa Joe and their segment. I
thought it was great. I'm really enjoying all the Samoa Joe and AJ Styles stuff. I think that it's good television. I agree. I think that I think I said this either last week or the week before, but anytime where you can take elements of I can relate to that, being a father and this guy and he's trying to take away my livelihood. This Samoa Joe
is working as a perfect heel right now, and AJ Styles is working as a perfect sympathetic babyface. This storyline and this angle, this is wrestling to me. This is what makes it great. And then at the end of the day, beyond this incredible storyline, you are going to get an incredible match at the end of it. I'll tell you what I loved about this segment tonight, or from last night, was whenever AJ came to the ring, he wasn't doing flips and tie-ups and like they were throwing punches and kicks and they were tight, man. They were, and it made you feel like, this is a fight here, man. This is great. And there's not enough of that. I thought right now, it's not my favorite thing on television, but it's the best storyline on television. I wish maybe they'd invest a little more time into it. I really like it. I think it's good stuff, and I hope it continues. Agreed?
Yeah, I agree.
So, well, thanks for the great feedback.
I agree. I don't know. What else do you want me to say? I agree.
Okay. Is there anything you'd like to see differently done with it, or are you pretty happy with how it's playing out?
No, I'm happy with how it's playing out, and I like the involvement at SummerSlam with his wife and his daughter. I know we haven't seen them since then, but I enjoyed them being there, and I think that they could even add to being on a Smackdown show.
I agree.
I think it adds. I mean, it's school time now, so you can't really have a kid.
Right. I'm not sure if that little girl was old enough to go to school yet, so maybe that's why. Plus, he has other kids. I'm sort of surprised they haven't sort of pulled that into it yet, but who knows? Who knows what's next?
Yeah.
So, hey, SmackDown was great. Raw was terrible. I don't know if the show today was good or not. Hopefully people enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed it. I enjoy it every week, though, so this was good. Anything else to add before we close?
Nope.
All right, this has been great. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you again next week.